played...
A CRN original.
Attention, you are about to hear the captivating voice of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique. Brilliant. And unpredictable. Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yeah, it's okay. We're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show.
Good day, everyone. I hope. I'm not, John, I'm not seeing myself here on this camera, so maybe I don't know why. Can you see me there? Can you see the video there, John? Okay, because all I'm getting is the CRN symbol, and before I was able to see some of the imagery, but you do see me full scope. The reason why, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Americans, I'm broadcasting from Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, and there's currently a torrential downpour happening here, which is, for those of us on the West Coast, I wish we had one of these downpours, because the record water shortages that are happening across the state of California and the rest of the West is detrimental to a lot of different things we need. Food, for instance, the farmers and homes, forest fires, and it's just amazing to come here. Anyway, it's green, pristine, beautiful, so different from the beauty of California, and it's just nice to have some rain and torrential rain. I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July. And I hope you had hope your family was able to enjoy it with you. I hope you had a patriotic kind of 4th. A lot of the uproar we're hearing are people that are continually denigrating our nation. And that's quite upsetting to me. I've heard some, I think, soccer players, I believe, when the 90-something-year-old World War II veteran played the Star-Spangled Banner on his harmonica, a few of them turned their backs on the Star-Spangled Banner and the gentleman playing. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is true, it's just endemic of what we've been seeing in terms of the Hate America crowd from the left that has been stirred pot and bred by the left. And again, I say the communist Marxists in our government, in our schools, in our education. But more about that a little later. What I'd like to talk about primarily first is the passing of a great American director, a man named Richard Donner. Now, he directed Goonies. He passed yesterday, 91 years old. His wife is Lauren Schuler Donner. And I met him when me and Joe Pantoliano auditioned for Goonies. I believe it was 1985 or so. And they wanted to pair the two of us together and see what our chemistry was. And our chemistry was terrific. We had known each other from before and played off of each other very well. Subsequently, Joey and I got to play the two Fratelli brothers, Jake and Francis. And we also had another brother, Sloth, and then Mama Fratelli. And Dick Donner, from the very first of meeting him, he was you could feel his heart. You could feel his warmth. He made you feel comfortable. Now, the creative process, one of the most important aspects of the creative process is being able to feel comfortable and safe in an environment where you want to dare to look ridiculous in the hope of looking or creating a character that's memorable. And Dick was someone who created that I would say that warm bed where the flower of creativity can grow. And I just remember, even from the first day on the set at Goonies, or before, when I met the wardrobe designer, and they had a whole idea, a different idea for how my character should be dressed than I did, or the designer did. And I wanted to do something different with it. And I went over to Dick and with the wardrobe guy, and who was a nice gentleman. And immediately, as the guy was about to explain to him, Robert has some ideas about the wardrobe. I says, yeah, Dick, I have a few, I'd like to wear, and he looked at give him what he wants. It was that easy. Give him what he wants. Give him what he wants to feel comfortable in. And that was the beginning of a wonderful relationship with Richard Donner. He directed Superman, Inside Moves, The Omen, and of course the Lethal Weapon franchise, and many other films. And he was a big child in a certain way. We spent 5 or 6 months together filming, and he was open to all creative ideas. He had the ability to improv, especially two actors like Joey and myself, or any of these kids that he had to work with. The art of improvisation, which comes from the commedia dell'arte, is difficult. It's not easy. Some people think it might be easy, but there's a focus because you have to fit in the context of a film you're doing, or a play, or a scene you're doing. And a lot of times, if an actor isn't skilled, or doesn't have the overall sense of where the scene should go, the improv could go to the left or to the right, or it could go on too extenuously and not have a cohesive point of view. But with Richard Donner, you were able to, and I'm very, only because I had tremendous training at both Joey and I had, and Ann Ramsey had tremendous training at improv. And and if we would do an improv and could be hysterical, and then Dick would look over to us and say, all right, you got to do that in 60 seconds, and or bring it down to 45 seconds or 30 seconds. Take that part, take this part, take that part, and then truncate it like that. And it was great working with him. He was shaping those characters and the film. Steven Spielberg did the second unit shooting, the great Steven Spielberg, and we all had a wonderful time doing the film. The passing of Richard Donner, he had a very big voice, a very big kind of presence. Hip hop. He would be on the set sometimes, and he would laugh. You would hear his laughter in the scene, and that was encouraging. And all the from Sean Astin to Josh Brolin to Corey Feldman to Quee to Jeff Cohen to the girls, to Carrie, to Martha, they all were looking for a little touch of Harry in the night. That's a quote from Shakespeare, and Dick Donner shone on you. He made you feel welcomed, wanted, appreciated. And he did that over the decades, since Goonies, when we had a 20-year reunion, or if we would bump into each other, or if we had a 25-year Goonie reunion, or recently, because of Josh Gad, we had a Goonies read-through. We had a reunion and a read-through, 2 different events. And that was, it was very emotional to think that would be the last time we would see Dick at this read-through, and he was just as engaged as he was when we were kids. And that was only a few months ago, and we raised some $250,000. But a tribute to Dick Donner. I'm sorry you didn't get to know him, but you got to know him through his films. And that's who the man was. He loved the country. He enjoyed life. He told me stories when he did Lady Hawk, another film of his, when he met the love of his life, Lauren Shuler Donner. And he was just a very gifted human being, not just as a director, but as a person that'll make you feel comfortable. When we were at Warner Brothers filming, he always invited, his office was an open door. Years later, when we did a little fun documentary called Davi's Way, just a few years ago, with me doing the Sinatra touring that I do. And a really sweet, it's a fun film. If you haven't seen it, check it out, Davi's Way. But there's a great Italian artist called J-Ax, who's the Jay-Z of Italy. Very, very huge Italian musician and influence. And he had Goonie tattoos. I met J-Ax, did a music video of his, and he had Goonie tattoos on his arm, and he was getting them on his leg. And he told me, he says, Robert, Goonies means more to me than War and Peace. He says it as in his youth, and he told me why. And we filmed that, and I'm so pleased that we got to play that for Dick Donner, and it's in the film Davi's Way. When we come back, we'll pivot to a little politics.
The way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
Fred Dreyer here. Join me at the Ramp Bar and Grill in Burbank, California. Now open with indoor dining. Monday through Thursday, noon to 9, Friday, noon to 10, and Saturday, 4 to 10. Happy hour weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. It's the home of the $5 margarita, by the way. Start with mouth-watering charbroiled chicken nachos. The best cheesy garlic bread in town, steamed clams and delicious soups and fresh salads. The best burgers in town. And steaks? Oh, you bet. Yum. Ribeye, filet, even prime rib. Italian specialties too. Ravioli, linguine, capellini, pomodoro, chicken parmesan, and a lot more. Save room for desserts too, including homemade cheesecake. It's the Ramp Bar and Grill, 7730 North Hollywood Way, minutes from Burbank Airport. Call 818-768-6499. Takeout and Postmates delivery too. Open Mother's Day from 1 to 9 p.m. Reserve your tables now. Call 818-768-6499.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
Robert Davi.
I'm the one delivering the message, not receiving it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I just gave a reminisce of the great Dick Donner, who directed Goonies, who I knew for more than several decades, and he passed away yesterday at home. And so the next little Hollywood tidbit is today is the birthday of Sylvester Stallone, another friend of mine. I was at his 45th, his 60th birthday. I'm not at his 75th because I'm here in Hilton Head visiting my cousin John. And but let's wish happy birthday to Sylvester Stallone and the great work he's done. He's worked with Dick Donner also in Assassins, I believe, and of course the great films he's done. So now I want to get to 4th of July. 4th of July and the culture of hating America and the culture of making excuses. And there are two issues that we continue to bring up. One being the continued bashing of America, and the other is the critical race theory. Now, supposedly in all 50 states, the biggest teachers union has now adapted that they will be teaching critical race theory in all their schools. This is an absolute travesty. It's a danger. It is I believe there should be sensitivity to things, of course, but critical race theory is something else. It teaches the divisiveness between white and blacks. It teaches that anyone who's white is guilty or a racist, and anyone black is trapped. And it fosters more division than it does unity between the races. And I don't know if the objectivity is to start a revolution in this country or not. Because if they adapt this, and if it continues on the way it is, I believe there could be a second revolution. I think there's something to that effect that could happen, and I would hate for that to happen because of all everything would have been lost. Now, more lives have been lost trying to save. Again, I've talked about slavery before, and that's been it still goes on, sometimes even more so than it did before. And it's gone on for centuries, and since the beginning of time, there's been slavery of some aspect. And America has been the only country I know that's fought against it and won. And 700,000 lives lost in the battle. Now there are things that, it's not a racist country, there are racists, but not the whole country. To categorize the whole nation as racist is creating more division. And I'm imploring all the parents, white, black, brown, anyone who agrees with what I'm saying right now. I'm calling on a parents' unification. And I think it's time that we have a national organization of parents, and we call it Parent Watch. We need a Parent Watch that takes education and makes them accountable for their subversive actions. In other words, let's defund education. It's time that education, public education that's being run by the communist or the Marxist element of our nation, be funded. Why do I say that? Because Bill Ayers and Bernadette Dawn and people like that since the 60s have infected education. Maduro from Venezuela is having people come to America to undermine American democracy. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Those listening to my voice, do you think that's correct? Should it be done? Well, one person I want to talk about is George Foreman, who did a tweet the other day. And George Foreman is an iconic person. He posted a defiant message on the 4th of July. He said he's been pressured to stop publicly saying that he loves the United States. George Foreman, stop publicly saying you like the United States. I mean, imagine that. 54 years, people have asked him not to keep saying, I love America. He posted this on Twitter. He goes, I do, and I'm not ashamed. Don't leave it, love it. Now, he used the message in a caption of his photo of himself with his eyes and holding the American flag after taking gold for our nation in the 1968 Olympic Games. Okay? Now, the post went viral, racking up over 85,000 likes by yesterday. And he similarly sang a patriotic tune when he smacked anthem-kneeling former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick. The greatest day of my life was when I put on my colors representing the United States in the Olympics, said Foreman. I love the United States, I love the flag, but there are a lot of people who haven't found that reason. They don't strive. They haven't been brought up with people who are patriotic, even to point them in the right direction. A lot of people died so that they can have that privilege to take a knee. And he had kind words about Trump. He praised Trump for playing a pivotal role in his personal comeback at age 42. And this is from a supposed racist man, Donald Trump, who helped a black man get a comeback, much like Sinatra did to Joe Louis when he was down and out. And it says that the Declaration of Independence says all men are created equal. Equal to what? What men? Only white men? This is what Cori Bush says. This is his thinking, Cori Bush. They weren't thinking about us then, but we're thinking about us now. This is Maxine Waters tweeting. And it goes on and on and on, the continued race baiting and the continued bashing of our nation, and all men are created equal. America is an ideal. And I've told you before, it's been run by men and women, and they've made mistakes, and things have happened. But to continually take this ideal that the founders made in terms of bringing us all together as one, e pluribus unum, and to continue to bash that, I find it offensive, I find it dangerous, I find it repulsive. And I want to have a parents' watch. I'm hoping to unite the parents. I don't know what the name of it will be called, but I've got to come up with a name. I've got to come up, maybe you can help me. You can, what's my John, if you could find out, we'll give it to the next segment. We'll give them my email name, and we'll come up with it together. Something that says that parents can go together across the nation and combat this critical race theory virus that's worse than COVID-19. And COVID-19 has another viral called the Lambda, I think it is now, that's coming out that's even more virulent. So please be cautious out there. But we need to do something. We need to have a vaccine against critical race theory. And that vaccine is you, the people, parents. When I come back, we'll have that email.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Did you know withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. So please listen up. Are you aware that banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any behavior they think is suspicious? It's true. I was shocked as I read Swiss America's blockbuster report, The Secret War on Cash. This new war against cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. Listen to me, you must read The Secret War on Cash. Now get your free copy by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. Or visit SwissAmerica.com. This war on cash is growing daily and also includes all forms of digital money. So please, get ahead, read The Secret War on Cash free to every Robert Davi fan today by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. And then you'll thank me later.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic. Market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails, like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, is that a Q2 or Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
No.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Robert Davi Show.
I'm Dwayne Robinson, LAPD. I'm in charge here. Not anymore.
So, dear friends, we're talking about the educational process, about the teachers' union going into 50 states, the largest teachers' union, 14,000 schools, I believe, or whatever it was. Teachers that are adapting the critical race theory, which I believe is dangerous. It's dangerous. I told you before what it represented. It says that the black man is trapped and the white man is a racist and evil. Basically, that's what it says. I don't care how you cut the macaroni. It's still macaroni. It's still pasta. Not a great analogy, but that's what I had because I've heard of this. Thinking of Italian food is on my mind from that ad, Angelo Da Vinci's. And another interesting tidbit is that I don't know if you've heard of let me get this right. A little researching here. The Democratic Socialists of America, the DSA. Ever hear of that? Did you know there was a DSA? And the International Committee and members, all right, here it is, met Friday, this organization, the Democratic Socialists of America, met Friday with Venezuela's contested president, Nicolas Maduro. He's a dictator. And the socialists, the democratic socialists, met with him. And they took place in Caracas, Venezuela's capital. It included the chairperson of the DSA National Political Committee, members of the International Committee, and members of the organization's political formation, foreign policy, bilateral relations sections, and on and so forth. And now, Maduro, the Venezuelan nation has experienced massive protests against his regime. And nearly 5 million Venezuelans were forced to flee the country under his rule due to food and medical shortages, okay? And the Democratic Socialists of America go and they meet with him. Now, a fact-finding, now you have to understand this, fact-finding mission appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council said in September they found that high-level authorities in Venezuela responsible for atrocities that they believe amounted to crimes against humanity. So that's the United Nations. And they're going to visit him. Now, this organization was founded in 1982. It's America's largest socialist political organization. It's got close to 200 chapters worldwide. Now, guess who belongs to this? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Jamal Bowman of New York, Cori Bush of Missouri, and they were all elected to Congress as members of the DSA. Okay? How's that? The organization issued a statement of solidarity with the government of Venezuela, saying, we call on the President and the Congress they wanted Maduro to stay in power. So what does all that mean? We have members of our Congress that ran under that banner. You know, I'm all for diversity, I really am. I'm for diversity, I'm for differences of opinions, and as I've said before on the show, we're all part socialist, aren't we? We all have a socialist bent. We like public education, not so much anymore, perhaps. We like transportation, we like fire department, police department, Social Security, Medicare, social services. So we all are adapting socialist issues. But why the tearing down of America? Which is what they do. Tlaib, Cortez, Cori Bush did a big rant on the 4th of July in our Bill of Constitution, Declaration of Independence. Why? And a guy like George Foreman comes out against it and gets upset because of their lack of embracing America. Black man embraces America. Successful man. And it's about working hard. You can accomplish anything you want in spite of the difficulties you have in life. We've got to stop creating a victim society. We've got to stop creating this poor, trapped race of people that can't get out of their own way for whatever reason. And we've got to make sure that we have equal playing fields. Absolutely. But I don't understand why the black community isn't outraged. There's got to be some of you, and I know there are because I've talked to many of them, out there in the black community that find this atrocious, that want to do something about this continued bashing on what is America, while at the same time understanding the difficulty that they live through. I can't get enough of this critical race theory problem. I can't say how dangerous it is. I've talked to so many people that are quietly enraged. So many people. For every 25 people I've talked to, maybe one is so liberal, left-wing, and misguided that they go into this whole thing about it, not understanding what it really leads to. That's a danger for us. This is a weaponized tool against America. We've got to do something about it. We've got to do something about it. John, you there?
I'm here, brother.
How do we stop it, John? I know you have a bit of probably a difference of opinion on it, but how do we stop that? How do we go into the communities and say, wait a second, you can have issues, but you could still love the country you're in?
I think it comes down to transparency. It comes down to honesty and eliminating the, accusatory narrative. And for me, I believe it boils down to context and putting things into context. It may not necessarily be the complete answer, but I feel as though that, that's definitely a start.
Right. But you see, don't you think I don't know what your personal experience is of America. And it's a difficult question to ask.
Yeah.
Would you rather leave America? Or would you rather, or are you grateful to this country for some aspects of your life?
I'm definitely grateful for certain aspects because I know that it offers opportunities that may not necessarily be available in other areas of the world, but I've also seen certain freedoms in other areas that I haven't received here.
Okay, that's a good. Where have you been that you've seen other freedoms? In what respect? This is a good dialogue.
Places like Honduras, places like Ghana, where I'm not looked at as a black man, but just looked at as a person, and someplace like Ghana, or Honduras rather, driving through the hills, right? And looking and it's a compromise, but it's also I think it's a very deep concept that we may have to come back to, you know what I'm saying, to just expand on a little bit more.
In what way? 30 seconds. We'll come back next segment.
Yes, sir.
But so you saying in Ghana and Honduras, now and you've had certain freedoms. We'll have to come back to that because I want to know the freedoms you've experienced.
You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Citizens, no need now to clamor for culinary gustatorial delights. Dreams do come true. Columbo's has triumphantly reopened its golden doors to feed the famished and soothe the savage beast. Bask in the delights of Columbo's succulent steaks, Neptune's superior offerings from the seven seas, Columbo's family Italian specialties, and of course their world-famous meatballs, and it's all so affordable. Yes, Columbus, the ninth wonder of the world. The Southern California pantheon dedicated to unrivaled and unparalleled yum-yum. Columbus, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbus, mangia bene.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute.
Just in time for the 4th of July, there's a big new animated spectacular that gives a decidedly cockeyed view of early American history. It's called America, the Motion Picture, now streaming on Netflix.
I'm George Washington. Ding dong! It's America, Did you practice that line in the car on your way here?
Yeah, it's rated TV mature with incessant F-words and some nearly pornographic scenes of cartoon sex. The ridiculousness of the whole project provides fleeting moments of amusement, but no insight, no real emotion, and the frequent evocations of the Avengers series get tedious and tiresome. The splashy animation and the vocal talents of Channing Tatum, Olivia Munn, Judy Greer, Simon Pegg, Andy Samberg, and more are better than this material deserves. 1.5 stars for America, the Motion Picture. The patriotic thing to do? Stay away.
Robert Davi.
Another $80 million write-off!
I guess it's time to start cutting overhead.
Discussing about... Am I on? I'm here with John and myself, and I was discussing George Foreman's response to the 4th of July, Cori Bush's response, the critical race theory that now is being adapted by the major teachers union in the United States that will connect to 50 states, and trying to discuss an interesting, try to bridge. John is a technician here. He's an engineer, great person, knowledgeable, and it's good to bounce off because he has a different point of view than myself and a different experience of America in a way of myself. And we were discussing it, and he said he found he had great opportunity in America, but he found more freedom perhaps. I think you said this, John.
Yes.
In traveling through Guyana and Honduras, is that correct?
That is correct, yes. So
okay. So go ahead.
For example, driving through Honduras and going through, somewhat of like the rainforest areas, right? And seeing the people that live in those hills or in the mountains that, just have livestock and land, and it put a lot of things into perspective for me, because it's like, okay, well, here we are in America concerned about, certain things that they may not necessarily that they're concerned about over there. And clearly, nothing is perfect anywhere you go. There's going to be obstacles, but for me, being a black man in America, there are times where I'm like, why am I dealing with this circumstance? Why am I being pulled over because of the type of car that I was driving? Without breaking the law, no, there's nothing in my car. Why am I experiencing this? Along with, several other incidences and friends of mine that have dealt with certain things as well, But then when I go overseas, when I go to Ghana and I'm surrounded by people and I'm not experiencing that same type of interaction, whether it be with law enforcement or whomever, or even my fellow colleagues, fellow brothers, you know what I mean? Walking through a certain neighborhood, I don't necessarily need to worry about certain things, and so again, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be here in America because we're able to have this conversation. I'm able to make a living doing something that I love, but then there's also another side that's like, why am I experiencing what I experience?
Let's try to get into that area a little bit. And first, I want to, for people that don't know, Ghana and Honduras, the makeup of ethnic groups there as of 2016, the 90% of mestizo, mixed indigenous and white, is 90%. Indigenous is 7%, black is 2%, white is 1%. As far as religion, 87% is Christianity, 46% Catholic, 41% Protestant, 10% unaffiliated, 2% other. So that's just in Honduras. So to give an idea of the ethnic and the religious aspect of Honduras. And now I want to go to the Guyana to give you an idea of what that makeup might be, judging from, internet. I don't have these figures off my head. And I don't know what Akans. They say 47.5% Akans.
That's
and 16.6%.
That's African people, yeah.
African people.
Yeah.
16.6% Mole Dagbon. I don't know what that is. I have to figure it out or find out. 13% of Iwi. So very different makeup. Konkomba, Guan, Garunsi, Kusasi, Pisa, other. But it's 71% Christian, 47% Protestant, 13% Catholic, 17% Islam, and then it goes diminishing returns. So Afghans is Africa, is that correct?
Yeah, everything that
it's West Africa, right?
Types of people.
It's the most third, with over 31 million people, the most populous country in West Africa after Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. Okay, and so now you have two different countries, one in South America and one in the continent of Africa, correct?
Yes.
And the experience you've had was more of a freedom, and I could see that. I understand that. It would be as if, and you said in the mountains with the people, and the acceptance. And in America here, we're being stopped. And it's unfortunate. I don't know what all the statistics are in that nation. I don't know what the statistics of crime are and the criminals. That's okay, leave those open. I like the view. That's my cousin Jennifer. I'm at their house in Hilton Head. I don't know what the crime statistics are, and it would be an interesting thing to find out where it goes and what it's about and why it happened. And let's just look up today. Let's look up Chicago, because these statistics are interesting to me. What happened in Chicago this weekend? Let's see. And I remember reading something, shootings in Chicago. Now, this has a lot to do, I believe, with our problem in the nation here. All right, 100 shot, 18 fatally in this weekend, gun violence across the city. 97 shot, 17 fatally, weekend violence. Chicago's most violent weekend of 100, this says 104 shot, 19 of them killed, 13 kids, and on and on. So, and July, for more than 250 people fatally shot during the 4th of July. All right, so I don't know what the statistics are in those countries, in Guyana or but, and can we attribute that violence? Do we attribute that violence to, and that's not just black violence, it's, there's violence in the white community, there's violence in the Hispanic and the Asian, there's violence, but can we attribute it all to racism? If it's happening in the communities, and when it happens in the communities, are the police at least on a higher alert? That's a question that you have to ask yourself honestly. When they go into a situation, whether it be domestic violence or a drug-related issue or something, I mean, it's just what happens. Now, at the same time, absolutely, John, I agree with you. Driving in your car and a black man has a certain car and there's a certain thing and, you stop. And I think if you look suspicious, not that you are suspicious, right, but I've been stopped at times, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've been stopped. And it went differently, obviously, because first off, as you are probably, I was very, very respectful. I don't know how they treated you. One time there was a belligerent cop. One time a cop said, just spread the word, we're not all assholes, or whatever that. I don't know if you could say that on the air, but he said, just say that we're not all, bad. And then a lot of times they may recognize me from something, and it dissipates quickly. I've gotten tickets, and when I've seen through the rearview mirror, what does he want now? Everybody gets nervous. You're not human if you don't. You see that, and you hear the siren, and what's he putting me over for? And most of the time, you were speeding, or I maybe, you know what I mean? I did something that I wasn't paying attention to, or there's a tag that I forgot to, for whatever reason. Now, your experience, what were your experiences when you were pulled over? After you were pulled over, was it belligerent? Was it now, did you find an absolute problem?
I've had both. I've had some that have, been respectful, and then I've had others that have, pulled me out of the car, searched my car with, no warrant, searched me and sat me down, found nothing.
And no reason at all?
No reason at all. No reason at all.
Not a tag, not an expired license?
Nothing at all.
Nothing?
Everything legit.
On the whim?
Just on the whim, yeah.
And when they found nothing, how were they after that?
It was like nothing ever happened. Just, all right, going about your way.
Okay. And were they looking for something? Was there a report made on, you know what I mean? Was there some kind of other thing? Or
no.
You don't know for sure. In other words, you know what I'm saying? When sometimes there's a APB, there's a, Chevy 1997, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, it was just nothing.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's so we didn't get. Is this the end of the show?
Yeah, this is it. Unfortunately.
See, because this is important to understand and to try to wade through this issue, to find out how we can bridge together, how we can talk about this issue, so we can dispel critical race theory and get to the root cause, which is it's too important for me to give a quick soundbite on, and too nuanced, and I'm not going to do that. All I can say is, Robert Davi, CRN Talk, right? Robert Davi at CRNTalk.com.
Yes.
Email me your ideas on a parent organization to combat critical race theory. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Are you tired of your favorite talk show sounding like this? What if you can hear your favorite talk shows in crystal clear, high-definition sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio, 7 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before.